Can you imagine? The people saying my name on the streets after you're gone. Have it mean something.
Welcome to Watch Mojo. And today we're looking at the shows we're looking forward to most in 2024. We're including new shows and returning ones, but we're leaving off animated programs like X-Men 97.
Just know, I love you.
Number 10, House of the Dragon, Season 2.
The war will be fought. Many will die.
The Game of Thrones finale made fans rage quit, but this prequel series pulled audiences back into Westeros. House of the Dragon engrossed us with all of the hallmarks we associated with its predecessor: epic battles, Shakespearean drama, and central characters who are hard to pin down.
Your father's realm was one of justice and honor. Our houses are bound by common blood and common cause.
What separates this show from Game of Thrones is that we know it's not going to end well for House Targaryen. As such, it's less about who takes the Iron Throne and more about who comes out of this with the most body parts intact. With the Dance of the Dragons underway, George R.R. Martin promises an emotional and gut-wrenching second season. We expect nothing less, but that still doesn't prepare us for what's coming.
There is no war so hateful to the gods. There's a war between kin.
Number 9, The Sympathizer.
I mean, I could be Viet Cong for all you know. The spy. How would you know?
What's the only thing more exciting than a new HBO miniseries? One that was co-produced by A24. The Sympathizer is based on a Pulitzer Prize-winning novel about a North Vietnamese captain who infiltrates the South Vietnamese military. While seeking refuge in the U.S., the captain finds himself torn as the Vietnam War winds down.
What if I told you that I was a communist? Undercover.
Welcome to the world of spycraft.
The series is being developed by Park Chan-wook, who directed Oldboy, and Don McKellar, who brought us the Y2K black comedy Last Night. The cast offers a mix of fresh faces like Hua Shande as the captain, as well as household names like Sandra Oh and Robert Downey Jr., the latter of whom adopts multiple roles. It might be about picking sides, but we expect The Sympathizer to unite critics.
We sent you to America so you could be our mold. But what happens to a mold when it is suddenly thrust into the sun?
Number 8, The Acolyte. It happened a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
It's not a story the Jedi would tell you. It's a Sith legend.
The Acolyte takes place an especially long time ago, set nearly a century before the Skywalker saga. Since joining the Disney family, Star Wars stories have been primarily restricted to post-Revenge of the Sith and post-Return of the Jedi. The Acolyte dives into the High Republic era, centering on a former Padawan who finds herself wrapped up in a mystery with ties to the dark side.
Why didn't the Council give me this assignment when we were in session?
This assignment is not to be on record.
The crime drama approach feels well tailored for the Star Wars mythos, and showrunner Leslie Headland of Russian Doll is sure to leave a distinct stamp. For those who think recent Star Wars shows have been delivering more of the same, The Acolyte promises uncharted territory.
The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural.
Number 7, Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
What do you think happens if we fail?
Our marriage?
Our mission.
The year was 2005. Brangelina was the celebrity couple, with Mr. and Mrs. Smith making a killing at the box office. Meanwhile, Donald Glover had a few bit roles on Late Night with Conan O'Brien, while Maya Erskine won an Emerging Young Artist Award from the Los Angeles County High School for the Arts. Needless to say, Glover and Erskine have come a long way since then.
This your first time in New York?
Should we be asking each other that? Have you ever killed anyone?
No, not really.
The Community and Pen 15 stars are taking on the roles of John and Jane Smith, respectively, in this modern adaptation of the spy comedy. Glover is also co-developing the series with Francesca Sloan, having previously worked together on Atlanta. They aren't the only Atlanta alumni, with Hiro Murai directing 2 episodes and Stephen Glover among the executive producers.
What is it that you two do?
We're computer software engineer.
Number 6. The Regime.
My people need to be respected, and they will be. But first, we need you to demonstrate credibility to us.
HBO has another Emmy contender for Outstanding Limited Series with The Regime, which assembles a stacked cast including Kate Winslet, Andrea Riseborough, and Hugh Grant. Winslet plays the chancellor of a made-up European government that crumbles over a year. The series is the brainchild of Will Tracy, who scribed multiple Succession episodes and co-wrote The Menu. So expect the dialogue to have plenty of bites.
I do apologize to you.
Not to me, you hog. Apologize to my people.
We can also count on director Stephen Frears of The Queen to bring an elegant eye to this satire. Although The Regime revolves around a fictional country, it has the potential to reflect real-world politics, which have rarely been on shakier ground. With 2024 poised to be another politically charged year, The Regime is bound to be a zeitgeist show.
Okay, sure, if you like. I do like.
Number 5. The Boys, Season 4.
But if you crush the masses, who builds your monuments?
Speaking of politics, Season 3 of The Boys ended with Homelander showing his true colors to the world. But his supporters don't seem to mind. If anything, they adore him even more.
Then you get to swoop in, be the one saving it.
Like Caesar.
Like Caesar.
In any case, we're just excited that The Boys are back in town after a 2-year hiatus. Don't get us wrong, Gen V more than held us over, but we've been eager to catch up with Butcher, Huey, Annie, and the rest. Season 4 will also bring some new players into the mix, including Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Because if there's one thing The Boys has been missing up until this point, it's a comedian.
Your team. What's your code name again?
The Boys.
Oof.
Number 4. Fallout.
I know that I've lived a relatively comfortable life.
Has Hollywood finally figured out how to adapt video games into TV shows? The Last of Us bodes well, but Fallout will be another crucial test.
You need to go home. Vault dwellers are an endangered species.
Based on Bethesda's hit post-apocalyptic game series, Fallout unleashes a mushroom cloud of talent. It's being developed by Lisa Joy and Jonathan Nolan, who previously brought us Westworld. The showrunners are Graham Wagner, who has written for comedies like Portlandia, and Geneva Robertson-Dworet, who co-wrote the 2018 adaptation of Tomb Raider. Ella Purnell takes center stage as a vault dweller, while Walton Goggins is sure to have a ball playing a gunslinging ghoul. With the franchise's signature grim humor on display, Fallout should be full of references for longtime fans while bringing in a new audience as well.
If you insist on staying, then you will have to adapt.
Number 3. The Penguin.
This is one of those moments.
Despite not having the most screen time in The Batman, Colin Farrell managed to steal every scene he was in as the Penguin. For those who felt the film could have used a little more Oswald Cobblepot, this Max series has you covered. Farrell is again unrecognizable as the Gotham gangster in a story that'll explore his rise to prominence.
The world ain't built for guys like us. That's why we gotta take whatever we decide is ours.
The Batman ended with much of Gotham underwater. Taking place a week later, this 8-episode limited series pits Penguin against Sophia Falcone, played by Kristen Milioti. Out for blood following the death of her father, Sophia challenges Penguin in a war that will determine the next kingpin of Gotham's criminal underworld. Whether or not Batman appears, this show is all about letting Penguin spread his wings.
Step out of line, even once. I'll gut you like a goddamn fish.
Number 2. Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Always remember who you are.
Netflix is a hit and miss when it comes to their live-action adaptations of animated classics. Cowboy Bebop was so bad that it didn't even get a second season, but One Piece was a pleasant surprise. Here's hoping that Avatar: The Last Airbender continues this trend. Although creators Michael Dante DiMartino and Brian Konietzko were initially set to return as showrunners, they exited over creative differences. While that might be a red flag, we'd be lying if we said that the trailer didn't get us pumped with its colorful visuals, promising casting choices, and rousing music.
The past. The future.
Whether or not this reimagining can capture the brilliance of the animated series, we can take solace in one thing. It's gotta be better than the M. Night Shyamalan movie.
It wasn't very smart. I was just upset. Thanks for saving me.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Masters of the Air. Austin Butler takes to the skies in a spiritual successor to Band of Brothers and the Pacific.
The 8th will be sending up the largest air armada ever assembled in the history of mankind.
Straight into Hitler's territory.
The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live. Rick lives to fight another day with Michonne by his side.
I tried to get away. Please know I tried.
Echo. Maya Lopez gears up for another round with Wilson Fisk.
So much rage. That you can't contain it.
Cobra Kai Season 6. Kreese is on the loose, but can Daniel and Johnny put him out of commission?
We've been fighting so long. Against each other. With each other. It's hard to keep track.
Agatha. Darkhold Diaries. Who's been overdue for a spin-off? It was Agatha all along.
Thanks to Agatha, naughty Agatha. It's been Agatha all along.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. ThreeBody Problem.
As children, we fear the dark.
Since we commenced this list with House of the Dragon, it seems only appropriate that we end with the new show from David Benioff and D.B. Weiss. Say what you will about where D&D took Game of Thrones, but we believe they can find redemption through this adaptation of Liu Cixin's best-selling novel. With Alexander Wu of True Blood serving as co-showrunner, ThreeBody Problem revolves around an astrophysicist's actions in the 1960s that go on to shape the future of humanity.
Anything might be out there. The unknown troubles us.
With an aesthetic that blends elements of fantasy, sci-fi, and ancient history, this series looks utterly unique, but it's the themes beneath that surface that have us hooked. It has the potential to be entirely different from anything we've seen before.
But we continue to search. Life looks for life.
Which show has you the most excited for 2024? Let us know in the comments.
So let me ask you, do you have one more fight left in you?
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.